Well, hello everyone and welcome to West Beach. It's a top of the table clash tonight between Walkerville and Port Adelaide. It's sure to be a fantastic match. With me, I have the Australian under-15 coach here, Amanda Reggie Fairley. She's come along tonight to give us the insights on the game. Reggie, how do you see this playing out?
I'll be very interested to see how
Thanks, Pete, and welcome to Wednesday night softball coming to you from Diamond One at West Beach. We acknowledge that we're playing on the lands of the Kaurna people and we pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging. It's the beginning of round 18 as tonight's preview shows Walkerville Cats in first place against the second place Port Adelaide Magpies. Is this a dress rehearsal for the grand final for the Linda Martin Shield? We shall see. An improving Seacombe Tigers with the game in hand, and the Eagles have emerged 2 games clear of the Falcons. They're down in a quest for a three-peat. So they're playing along tonight. I'm Anthony Weatherstone, and tonight we have 2 special guests. You've just seen them, and sorry if there was any audio issues there to start. First is Board Chair, Softball SA Pete Williams. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Good to be here. Lovely game that we've got set in front of us tonight and really excited to see how it plays out.
Second is the busiest woman in softball and as of today a global name across the world due to the WSBC website. Interview her on their homepage. She's the Australian under-15 coach, South Australian under-16 coach. She's the SA coaching coordinator, the Hills Heat hedge coach, also coaches Harndorf, and even spent some time playing second day for the Magpies on Saturday. It's Reggie Fairley.
What an intro. Thank you, Weathers. Yeah, I don't know about the second base part. I stood at second base, but I don't know whether I played it.
Some people would say that, you know, too much softball is never enough, but I think you're walking the line. That's a fair amount of work. So looking forward to having a chat to you tonight about the Australian stuff. Tonight, number 1, Walkerville Cats by half a game against the Port Adelaide Magpies. Big game, and as I said, down on Diamond 2, we've got the Seacombe Tigers in third place with 3 games up their sleeve, playing the Glenelg Rebels. So the Tigers, a win down there basically puts them out of touch, well, on the way to being out of touch because they've got a couple of games up their sleeve against West Torrens. So it's a big game down there, but the Rebels have just turned the corner. You saw them on Friday night up close, Reggie, up at Anembo Park for the CFS round. That was a big game. These 2 teams had a weird couple of weeks. Magpies coming off a couple of close losses to teams around them, and Walkerville lost to West Torrens the week before, came out, finished off Sturt in 56 minutes and Mercy on Saturday, and we get them tonight. And looking at their lineups, they're both full strength.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking game, Anthony. As you said, top 2 ready to go. Seacombe champion at the bit just behind him. They're going to pick up maybe a win down on the back diamond tonight. They'll be looking to close that gap. Effectively, you could have all the top 3 on the same amount of wins. That's how close this Premier League season is. And as you said, we've got 2 pretty strong lineups. And Reggie spoke about the strength of the batting in Port Adelaide, and Taylor going to have to be on her game in the circle. So I'm really looking forward to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the top 4 ranked players in the competition here tonight. The Cats have got the number 1 hitter and the number 1 pitcher in the league. Regards, obviously Taylor Caudle's the pitcher, Sophie King is the hitter, and the next 2 best players in the competition are on the other side in Brie Marcelino and Jess Golden offensively, both above 500. So some big names making some big plays, and it's obviously that time of the year where it all starts to come into effect.
Yeah, absolutely. I think tonight is all about gaining that psychological advantage. You know, you can see both lineups are definitely going hard. They're putting out their best tonight. So it'd be interesting to see who comes out on top. Look, I'm calling it early. I'm going with the prediction. I think Port Adelaide are going to put on a show tonight.
Wow,
they look good in their uniforms.
Haven't even got to the prediction part yet, but I was about to. And you might see that Port Adelaide are on fire tonight, and that's because they're wearing their CFS uniforms, and they do look outstanding. So, producer Brandon, at some stage tonight, if you can zoom in on one of those Port Adelaide players with one of those fenders, there's Charlize Callahan, looking very impressive as always, even more so now wearing the CFS themed round, which was a great round on the weekend. Did some great stuff for CFS Foundation, some great softball, and yeah, great time all round. All right, so we're about to get underway here. 1v2. Speaking of putting best teams on the ground, Damien McCauley goes behind the plate for the blue. Pete Fairley finally decides to stop skiing in Japan and return home. And 50 Shades of Grey is down there at third to make sure that Pete doesn't get away from us. It's going to be Liz Engler who's going to be pitching to Jess Golden. And leading off for the Cats is their catcher, wearing the iconic number 8, Chelsea Robertson. Takes a ball low for ball 1.
And Anthony, we're checking through the game, but just letting you know, over the back diamond, 2 innings through completed, the score still 0-0.
Robbo, what? I did this on Saturday. Stop doing nicknames. Chelsea's watchful first couple of pitches. Saturday she went after the first pitch an awful lot. This one she just throws out on the outside, and Jess Golden takes it and makes it an easy first out for the leadoff. We'll see here on the Sporties Bar replay coming up.
You can see Jess read that really well, got the helmet off nice and quick. Unfortunately, Chelsea actually just went too early on that pitch. I think if she, held back, waited till it got to her zone, would have been a very different story.
Brings to the plate the number 1 ranked player offensively in the competition, and that's the experienced Sophie King, probably having one of her best seasons ever, batting a lazy .567 with an impressive on-base of .658. Meaning that nearly 7 times out of 10 she reaches. She scored 13 runs for the season. And we all know how good she has been in defence. She's only made the one mistake in 18 games of softball, so she's having a Kath Corral type year. Also one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Takes a strike there to level the count 1-1. It's 1 out. On deck for the Cats is power hitter Ellie Smith. Gets after this one, leans into it, 50 Shades, makes some room, but Marcelino beats everybody as you would expect, the athlete that she is, and makes that look easy here on the Sporty Bar replay.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see, the importance of having a range as a pivot player there. Marcelino makes that look easy, gets a really good read early, and takes that ball very comfortably in foul territory.
A watchful Cat so far over the first couple of pitches. Ellie Smith bats .375, the big hitting import. Her best still probably yet to come over her 10 games that she's played. Hard ball hit and beats Marcelino out there at shortstop on the hop. And the girl with the brightest batting gloves in the league has got on base.
Yeah, I like to see Ellie Smith go early in the count there, hit the ball hard. Unfortunately, Marcelino just didn't move her feet on that one, kind of judged the ball a little bit too early, which, the West Beach Dirt beat her, unfortunately. Georgia
Mason, state under-18 player and recently announced in the schoolgirls state team, comes to the plate, batting .333. For somebody so young in a lineup of so much experience and just great players around her, it's a testimony to how good a talent she is on the rise, batting in foil. She demonstrates this with an inside-out shot out to right field. Great piece of batting, but a good take by Jess Neves, and we'll see on the Sporty Bar replay.
She got onto that late, hit it up into the air, and it just sailed up and held up in the breeze nicely. Nice easy take out there for Neves to round out top of the first innings.
Good piece of the ball though, gets a good pitcher, good pace, up in the zone went with, so didn't get a chance to get around their lineup. I apologise for that. Take the opportunity now to quickly jump around the Cats lineup. So it'll be the Boise State superstar Taylor Cordell throwing to Chelsea Robertson. At first base, the player just retired, Georgia Mason. Erin Stone at second. Sophie King at shortstop. Ellie Smith over at third base. Steph Gall is at left field. Hayley Mayer is at centre field. And please, may I get it right for the third week, trying, it is Lux. That's the name, all right? So been rehearsing that for days now. Because I've got it wrong every time I have so far, and I apologise to Bailey so much for that. Some have suggested that English isn't my first language, and it's probably testimony to that. But Bailey Lux, the new import, who's been very impressive at the plate, on the bases, and in the field, and she's playing right field tonight. A big bench for both teams tonight, which obviously means it's the second half of the season and things matter. So Jess Golden's going to lead us off. Chloe Davis is the designated player batting in the 2 spot tonight, followed by Marcelino, Maslin, Callahan, Edwards, Thompson, Geldof and Neves. A formidable offensive lineup from the Magpies. So the Cats have the best defence in the league. One of the reasons for that is the lady in camera at the moment, Taylor Cordell, coming to the Cats first year from Boise State, and she has been off the chain. The impact of her performance so far of 165 strikeouts over 338 batters faced, that means that for every second batter that goes to the plate, she strikes out every second one of them, which is insane. Her ERA just dropped below 1 at .96 for 18 starts, which is just outstanding. Facing her is the leadoff for the Magpies, who's having a great season herself. It's Jess Golden, the catcher. She's batting .489. Golden's on base goes from .489 and jumps up to .593, and we know what she does when she gets on base. Shows maybe a running opportunity. Smith picked it up nice and early when she saw the feet move, so did she. Stone and Mason also made changes. Outfield deep for a leadoff hitter, showing that type.
Reggie, you would have had a few of your players who have obviously faced Taylor from time to time. What's their feedback to you about just how destructive she is as a pitcher? What is it that she does or does to a batter in the box that makes it difficult to bat to her?
I think Taylor's strength is definitely around her rise ball. She's very good at being able to locate that and for it to come through when she needs it. But then that pitch there is the one that kind of catches you off guard when you're expecting the rise ball. And I think what's great about Taylor is that every pitch is definitely starting to look the same. She doesn't have a lot of tells in what she's giving away. Even as a coach standing at third base, it's very hard to pick. So yeah, I think, you know, it's definitely one of those things where
Golden goes bang down the left field line and just wide of the line out there to the fence. 2-2 count. Something was going to happen. Golden was ready. She took it up in the zone.
Golden showing exactly what I was about to say there, which is brilliant. You know, you've got to be able to pick that pitch that's coming at that belt height and just be nice and short and compact to the ball.
beaten for speed on that one, but good enough to make contact. Golden stays alive and a 2-2 count here. Yes, goals deep for a left fielder. Breeze on your camera when you're looking behind the batter, going right to left, fairly strong. But that just shows the respect they've got for that line drive shot that Golden has the power to hit. 2-2, none out, bottom of the first. A rocket from Caudle on the outside edge. Producer Brandon showing off new toys. We love that. And here's the contest. Two of the best internationals getting around, going head to head. Grounds this one out. Caudle fields her own ball. Golden, who's lightning quick, tries to get up the first base line. Pete Fairley knocks off a bit of ice and shows that he's back, making a fairly good call there at first.
You can see the Magpies hitters, like Jess is crowding the plate there, so she did a pretty good job in getting to that pitch. She almost just kind of separated her hands from her body, which gave Taylor the ground out that she needed to get the first out and win the first battle.
Only threw the one strikeout in the demolition that was played against the Falcons in 56 minutes. She only threw one strikeout, but had an innings where she did all the fielding herself, showing another string to her impressive bow. And tonight we see Chloe Davis, who's been promoted into the number 2 spot.
We got to see the other day the two Davises in the Premier League for the first time, Michelle Hutto-Davis and Chloe Davis together. No Michelle tonight. She's in the stands watching. No doubt she'll be disappointed she's not alongside her daughter.
Caudle beats the bat genuinely there. Just noticing from watching Cats on Saturday. Saturday they were upbeat, aggressive, pace was good. Tonight it's methodical, they're taking their time, making sure that everything seems to count. It's a slower pace game early here in the bottom of the first. Focus seems to be on execution, and that's what Taylor Caudle's just done there as she's picked up strikeout number 1 as she's beaten Chloe Davis there, bringing to the plate the number 2 ranked hitter in the competition and last year's Mel McGee medalist, and that's Brie Marcelino. 525 batting average, a ridiculous 655 on base, leads the Magpies in RBIs with 20.
And Reggie, we were talking before about what Taylor can do, but you mentioned this person in the lead up about how hard she used to pitch to. What do you tell a young pitcher who comes up against a batter like this in the box, who can pretty well hit it anywhere, anytime they want?
Look, to tell you the truth, like any hitter, not giving away too many trade secrets here, Marcelino does have a couple of holes in her swing. What's really exciting about this matchup is she hits that pitch there extremely well. So, Taylor's best pitch is that rise ball kind of coming up at your letters, whereas, Marcelino being so tall and having a lovely compact swing like she does, it makes for very good watching, that's for sure.
Not giving up the trade secrets here, Anthony. Just keeps them intact and doesn't let anything out other than holes, apparently. The holes must be where that 475 part is in average.
Yeah. That one doesn't look like it hit a hole, but it's gone out deep to centre field as Hayley Mayer picks up a good catch out there to retire the Magpies 1-2-3, as this game has a very, very strong sense of just feeling each other out and just pushing each other. As you see here, Hayley Mayer take a great, well-judged catch out there. Yeah, so this definitely has a little bit of, I hate to say it, has a bit of finals feel to it. They're serious softball on a Wednesday night. So Junior State Championships this weekend is where there's going to be some serious softball played out there at Ridley Reserve. So 21st to the 23rd, games starting on Friday, and you can see there on the website, CDSA have announced the tournament information is all now live. That includes obviously the program for the teams playing down there. So there's a QR code there to take you to it. So all the great information there for what is going to promising to be a great weekend. The ASA Premier League heads down there at 7:30 on Saturday night with Walkerville playing Seacombe. And whilst the game won't be live streamed, unfortunately, it will be broadcast by Pete Williams, the board chair. It's going to be down there with the big speaker, keeping everybody entertained. And rumours have it there's going to be some autograph cards there for the kids as well. So
not from Peter Williams, though. Autographs not from Peter Williams.
That's correct, from the players. So here we go. It's the top of the second, and kicking us off is the right fielder, Bailey Lux. I hope she sits home later tonight when she watches the replay of this and goes, it's taken him 3 weeks, but he's got it right. Otherwise, there's another email coming my way. Here we go. Top of the second. It's 0-0. Engler in the middle. Turns on it hard. Goes down the third baseline.
That's one thing we've certainly noticed playing against Bailey so far is she does have really nice bat speed. I feel like if she can get the hands in the right place and get on playing with the ball, it is certainly going to trouble. But she hasn't quite found that spot yet since she's arrived in Adelaide.
Yeah, it must be hard coming home halfway through the season and trying to just pick up the same as everyone else. Change up by Engler, well picked by Lux, but even better taken by Marcelino, who takes another great fly ball catch, as you see here on the Sporting Bar replay, having done it once already when she took a catch just over to the third baseline before. This one going away from her with an international player charging at her. No problems at all. Not that she's ever going to be sick of hearing it. Two-time national champion Sophie Roberts in the DH role tonight. She's acting as the designated player, batting for the pitcher. Fouls that one off. So not only is Pete going to be calling the big game out there on Saturday night, there's a lot of games for it scheduled later in the day, so it'll be a great opportunity for hopefully the kids and the family to hang around. Both teams will at least have at least 3 internationals plus some state champions in their team, so they're getting a great game out there between, first and third, plenty on the line. And the canteen will be open, the bar's open, barbecue still might be open, etc. There's a food truck out there as well. So lots of reasons to get out to Ridley Reserves this weekend. Roberts picks the change up high in the zone, this one, and she fouls it off down the third base line. Get out there, see the future stars playing tomorrow.
They've also got new lights out there, I believe, Weathers.
Haven't even been used yet.
Yes, so that's really exciting.
Friday night they get their first turn on. So hopefully, unlike us, they stay on. So beat you to it, Pete. Sophie Roberts takes the ball on the arm, and the Cats get their second base runner for the evening, bringing up centre fielder and left-hander Hayley Mayer.
You can see this pitch here just kind of gets away from Engler. Not normally known for up in the zone, more of a drop ball pitcher. I do like that call, but yeah, just an unfortunate result and puts Sophie Roberts on first base.
Hayley Mayer, a player from the northern areas, so originally with the Torrens Valley Red Sox, then the Sturt Falcons, and has come back to the Walkerville Cats. Ex-state player, great left-handed pitcher, great athlete, and here she has an opportunity to advance Roberts.
Interesting to see Port's corners are right in here, kind of really putting the pressure on to see what Mayer would do. Not necessarily going to see a bunt, but maybe a slap, just to try and put the ball on the ground and advance that runner.
And there she goes, puts it into a great spot. Engler comes up looking aggressive to play the lead runner, and Marcelino's there and throws out the lead runner, does Engler. And Brandon, can you just check Pete's mic for me, please? Is it working?
Working loud and clear here.
Yep, got it. Just contemplating? That's good, good. Drives over the top of this one. Ugly bounce, but Marcelino good enough to read it on the drop down. Plays the base with the glove herself. And she retires Gore and the Cats for the third out. And we're going to move into the bottom of the second. And it's 0-0 here on the Sporty Bar replay.
Yeah, you can just see very well read by Marcelino there. You know, some good game sense to just play the base. You can see the West Beach hop getting over Engler there. You know, Engler's no short athlete by any means, but plays nicely into Marcelino's hand to get the force out and retire the side.
An update out over the back, Anthony. It's 1-0 the way of Seacombe into the top of the fourth. They've got 2 out, so they got a couple on base early. They've managed to hold them only to the 1 run Glenelg at this time. But top of the fourth, 1-0 Seacombe's way.
I apologise, mate. I didn't realise you had run down there before, so thank you for, all good. That's an important game down there for Seacombe because Glenelg, you know, they showed some signs in the last couple of weeks. They've had their imports return in Sydney Horton and the other new lady that's come over with some international experience, whose name escapes me as I pad to strike through the iPad and come up with Lee Lankhurst. Well done, Anthony. And so, I mean, obviously, you know, they're going to try and finish the season strong. It's not the season that they wish that they would have had. I mean, no team in the Premier League has used as many players as the Rebels this season. They've been decimated by injury and availability, and that just makes it hard. So, speaking of things that are going to be hard, the segue here, Jess Maslin, ranked 6th in the competition offensively and second to RBIs behind Marcelino with 18 herself. Swings over a big change-up in her first at-bat.
I really like that call from Robertson there. You know, it's catching 101. You kind of go early with the change-up with big power hitters that like to swing hard, and Jess is certainly one of those.
Batting 400, another consistent season by the previous Cathcart and Premiership player. Plays a variety of positions, has played catcher for the Magpies. We've seen her do some great work over at left field, played a bit of third base. Tonight playing first base in the Magpies lineup and batting in the clean-up spot.
I think it certainly goes to show you always find a spot for a good hitter, you know, wherever that may be. So you make yourself a utility when you can hit the ball like Jess does. Interesting
point tonight. We've been having this conversation over the past couple of games on the live stream about trying to combat things like the speed and the rise ball. Bell and Kylie were talking about it. Interesting to see that Maslin is deep in the box here. Some hitters have gone to the front to try and cut down the rise. Maslin trying to give herself a little bit more time to see the ball and to see if it pays off. Takes the ball inside hard across the letters, and just with some quick reflexes. They're not real flames, they're just the flames of the uniform of the CFS round that Port are wearing tonight, looking fantastic in the black and white and red. 3-1 is the count. And gets her for the second time in the at-bat with 2 great change-ups on Maslin from Caudle, as Caudle shows off some of her tricks for strikeout number 2.
What I like about that change-up is the different location. You know, she really worked that count well, and I really like the call from Chelsea there to, you know, like, you know, even though she had the 3 balls on her, to go to the change-up and really challenge the hitter.
Open Women's Stars national champion Charlize Callahan comes to the plate. They're playing third base, batting 188 for the Magpies this season. But she scored runs, she's batted in runs, she's been good in the field. Still a very integral part of the Magpies. Everybody remembers her in their first premiership year with the shot up the middle that broke the deadlock of the tie. And here she is, now national champion, facing Taylor Caudle. Goes up. Callahan goes with her.
I think the really exciting part about Charlize is she's still only so young, hasn't hit 20 yet.
That's still a part of the 23 program as well up in Queensland. So
Forgot what my 20s were.
It was a while ago, Pete. Like in your defence, it was a while ago.
Don't turn and talk to me about it. Callahan takes a pitch on the inside low. Producer Brandon having a lot of fun over there. Having a lot of time. It's like he's watching a Fringe show. It's a bit early for that. Just, Pete, I will get you to quickly log in and come up with some, if there's anybody on socials there enjoying the feed as much as Brandon.
I did just look a minute ago.
Callahan goes hard on the ball on the up, but Maya, with all of her experience and athleticism, makes a difficult catch running into the wind look easy in front of the Bob Burns sign out there. And we just see here on the Sporty Bar replay.
I don't want to take anything away from Charlize there. I mean, that ball off the bat looked wonderful, but, Hayley Mayer got a wonderful read on that ball, and, that first 3 steps, so integral in what you do as an outfielder, and took that clean. Well done, Hayley.
Montana Edwards, the second base player, comes to the plate. Batting .324 for the Magpies with a .409 on base. She's third in the team for RBIs, especially considering the role that she plays within their lineup, and has gone on and scored 10 runs herself. So good season for the second base player, who's also very strong in the field. Facing Taylor Cordell, 2 out here. It's the bottom of the second, 0-0.
We have asked on the live stream tonight, Anthony, score predictions for the game and who they think might be the player of the game. So got to make a call not knowing what's going to happen in front of you, but I've only got one so far, and that's Danny Moffat suggesting a 5-1 win to Port Adelaide.
Oh, wow. Leans back on this one, drives it over to shortstop, and King, quick as you like, comes up throwing, and Mason with that big step in. And you see here on the Sporty Bar replay, just hit the top of the bat. And King, always good enough, low to the ground, and Mason does a good time jumping out as she retires the Magpies as we go 0-0 into that. So last week we started our GoFundMe to help cover the live stream costs, and we had an overwhelming response, over 70 contributors so far, and we can't be more proud and thankful of the efforts that you've made. Our goal, our final goal is in sight, and so we're nearly there just to lock in everything that we need for the rest of the season. And again, can't humble and just can't be, it's actually quite emotional, the support shown by the softball community. So there's still a little bit of, there's the QR code. As I said, we're near the goal, and then we can sort of put our focus on just getting ready to showcase great softball on the weekends. So speaking of having great softball this season, Erin Stone having a breakout year this year for sure, playing second base for the Cats amongst some big names. And but where she's been really stepping forward has been offensively. 297 at the plate, a couple of RBIs, but has gone on to score a lot of runs in that 9 spot with the top of the order following her back around. So her at-bats have mattered, and she's made them count. 350 on base has become a very important part. Stone gets jammed again by Engler. Not her again, but another batter that Engler's gone inside and got high on the handle as she grounds out over to the player that just finished the previous inning, Mossman.
Montana Edwards, sorry. How am I going?
And yeah, good field. Top of the lineup for the Cats. Fly out in the first at-bat, ground out in the second at-bat, 1 pitch. Saturday, she went 3 for 4 in the lead-off spot, hitting a triple and some others, but tonight, just a little quicker there.
Yeah, you can see the double step of the front foot there. So I think Chelsea's timing's just a little bit out when it comes to facing Angler. I can't wait to see her hopefully time one up in her next step out.
Sophie King comes to the plate, having just made a good play at shortstop. As we've said before, having one of probably her best seasons ever. She's here in a 2-out situation. Takes a pitch low on the inside. Not a lot of breeze down here at West Beach, just enough to make it uncomfortable, but it is the traditional February cold. So a watchful King. So if you're a couple of weeks out from finals, this would be the type of night, Coach Fairley, you'd be looking to get some data and tell batters to have long, deep counts, or would you sort of be more focused on winning the game and attacking pitches and rolling the dice to score?
I think tonight is all about the psychological advantage, as I said earlier. I think if you can get a pretty commanding win, you know, it either does two things to a side. It either, you know, hopefully puts them in the dumps and, you know, they've got to fight out of it, or it fires them up and they do their homework on you. So it'd be interesting to see. I think I really like what I've seen so far. Lots of people going early in the count, but, you know, Soph with a really watchful eye there after two really quick outs earlier in the innings, showing her experience.
So interesting situation here, 2 out with Sophie King, who's got over 30% of the stolen bases for the Cats. The interesting stat here is Ellie Smith, not only with the best glove in the competition, she hits 375, but as soon as there's a runner on base, her average goes up to 700. And this one, she smashes through Charlize Callahan. King's already turning two. The ball spills by Thompson out at left field, and King's going to round and score, highlighting her skill as Smith picks up another RBI and breaks the 0-0 deadlock here. Coach Fairley, walk us through that.
Smith actually absolutely smoked that ball. Sorry for the jumble of words. And it's just that last unfortunate fumble from Thompson there that allowed Sophie King to come around and score for the first run of the ball game.
2 for 2 with a stick tonight. Ellie as well, both out to the left field side.
Brings to the plate Georgia Mason, who has now got Smith in scoring position at 2 with 2 out. And on deck, not going to get any easier with Lux, Roberts and Mayer to follow. This time inside out. That's a good bit of fielding by Montana Edwards there, as she's kept her feet well, stayed front on, kept the ball in front, but not before the Cats have picked up a run to kick us here off in the top of the third.
Montana read that really well off the bat, just takes those little couple of steps to the side, plays the ball nice and easy over to second base. What great 2-out running from Sophie King there to just take off on that hit from Ellie before. But yeah, Port Adelaide shut it down, and hopefully they can come out with something in reply. Usually that's what happens, right? One side scores and then all of a sudden the scoring spree begins.
Well, when you break these two teams down, as I said, we talked a little bit before about their rankings, first and third. So Port's got the best offence in the competition. The Cats have got the best defence in the competition. The Cats, when you look at actually breaking their offence down, they've only scored the 72 runs at about an average of 4 a game. So that's only got them 1 run ahead of West Torrens, 6 ahead of the Falcons, and 10 runs in front of the 6th place Glenelg. So when you put that in context over the course of 18 games and they're clear top, they're just winning games. They're not blowing teams away. Port Adelaide in reverse, they're the #1 ranked team by a significant amount. They've scored 112 runs for the season at 6.2 a game, but their defence is ranked 3rd and they gave up 2.5 runs a game. So the Cats themselves, they're only giving up 1.4. So they, you know, the Cats are chasing 2, the Magpies are chasing 3. The difference is the Magpies normally go on and put a side away. The Cats they do what they need to do, and then that seems to be enough. But their defence is their strength. The Magpies, their offence is their strength. So it's interesting when you throw the two of them together. Zoe Thompson, traditionally batting in the 2 spot this season. Finds herself at 7, playing left field. She's the triple threat at the plate. Slap, running bunt, line drive, long ball, hit the ball hard on the spot. She can do it all at the plate. Heading off to college in the next summer.
I like that she's already moving through the box early, you know, putting pressure on the Walkerville defence. If she can get something hard on the ground here, you know, 9 times out of 10 she's beaten it out to first base.
Well, you can see the positioning of Smith especially. Mason's come down, yes, but you can see that King's moved a little bit more towards the middle, but Smith's come way off the line, obviously being a left-hander, and that traditional sort of 6-5 hole that we talk about that a batter turns on, Smith standing right there, looking to move forward at first chance. Thompson again shows bunt. Years ago, this type of batting, you know, could phase you a little bit. You know, you fall behind in the count, playing short. But the maturity of Thompson, that's no longer there. She can bat off the count, but that's a different game when you're up against Caudle. See how she goes here with 2 strikes. Just misses for Thompson, but wins for Caudle as Caudle picks up strikeout 3 of the night, going down looking on the outside high.
Yeah, I think that's a pitch that Chelsea's done really well on tonight. I think that's probably a key difference that I've seen necessarily between Robertson and Golden so far, is that Chelsea's calling that pitch really well and receiving it really well. So getting it for that called strike quite a few times tonight.
Geldof batting 200. Kate Geldof, new player for the Magpies this season, but has been around Adelaide for a few. Plays centre field and has proved a very handy foil to Engler in the middle with some great pitching. She's here in the bottom of the third with 1 out, nobody on, chasing the Cats 1-0. Caudle asks the question up. Geldof good enough to stay off of it. Another one of the Magpies hitters who's seeming to have made the choice to go back and sit deep in the box and have that 1/4 millimetre of a second. Not that you measure time by millimetres, but you know what I'm saying. A short amount of time to see the rocket come by. Inside though, inside low seems to be working for Caudle tonight. She's picked up some big strikeouts there. She levels the count here. She goes 2 balls, 1 strike in the count here even. 1 out, bottom of the third. Robinson puts the same pitch in the same area and just misses, levels the count 2-2. Smith's gone back but held the same spot, so she's deeper but she's well off the line. Mason shallow on the line and has pushed back, outfield deep. Throws her hands, gets after this one. Caudle goes for it originally before getting called out by Mason, and the ball spills as the sort of decision came last second. Smith there to recover just to make sure that Geldof doesn't pick up a free extra base, as you see here on the 40 bars replay.
Yeah, I just think a very unfortunate error. Unfortunately, that ball spun away from Georgia Mason there. Called it nice and early, you know, had her pitches back, but just unfortunate that, you know, that little bit of spin ran away from Georgia.
Jess Neves, her first at-bat for the night, playing right field, premiership player and ex-state player. One of Lee's very favourite players to coach and watch. And here she is in that dangerous number 9 spot with the top of the lineup, Geldof and co to follow. 2 out. Neves fouls this one off. So it's 1 out, my apologies.
Just while I got a chance here, Anthony, the back diamond has changed up. Glenelg in the bottom of the 5th have taken a 2-1 lead with hits to Sasha Penglace and Jade Peterson getting on base, and then Lee Langhorst coming up, knocking a 3-base hit to bring him home. Bottom of the 5th, none out, 2-1 the way of Glenelg.
Is that Jade Peterson, the designated hitter? And Caudle beats Neves for pace struck out number 4. Now 2 out, but we return to the top of the lineup. You've got some speed on base, so would expect Geldof to be very aggressive here on the base paths. So the bottom of the 4th gives Coach Lucas a look at his top 3 with none out, or the roll of the dice and back the hitter in. Let's see what happens. Chasing 1.
Wouldn't be surprised if Golden gets in a good count here that Ben puts a steal on just to make something happen. You know, like what a prime time to put a steal on, you know, in a good hitter's count and, you know, let her run. Then Golden leads off the next innings at worst.
Yep, absolutely. Takes a pitch on the outside. Golden looking pretty calm. Geldof facing the batter, so she doesn't seem to be in any real interest to be
She's making a lie out of me.
She's done the same to me here. It's like she's hiding behind the figure of Georgia Mason so Chelsea can't see her. So, but there doesn't seem to be any intent. Let's see if she keeps her shoulders towards the base this time. No. Golden asking the question of Caudle. And now the count falls back her way. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Caudle's got one more chance to, I suppose, really throw something on the edge or question. Golden might get a clean look at an incoming strike. Let's see what happens. Low and away. So now 3 balls and a strike. Only problem for the Magpies here, this is a 2-out situation. So Caudle's got to come back and challenge. And that's probably what the situation that Jess has engineered here. Davis on deck, the DP. Goes up, and Golden expected it. She went with it and hit the ball deep, 225 feet. But what a great piece of fielding by Hayley Mayer, who's having a night out in the field. That ball would not have been easy to take. Great bat by Jess Golden here on the replay.
Yeah.
Sporty Bars replay, sorry.
Golden does exactly what I thought they would potentially do to Caudle tonight. Really get on top of the rise ball, but just missed it, unfortunately. But Mayer, again, with a fantastic read at centre field, you know, comes up with the big catch in a big situation to, you know, put the Magpies away and send them out to the field.
Yeah, that's a very important catch. All of Hayley's catches tonight have been very important. And just as important, we get to announce finally tonight the Adelaide Softball Association Awards Night. Details about to hit the socials tomorrow. March 23rd, starts at 6 p.m. Last year we had it at the Marion Sports Club, and this year we're at our primary partner, the Arkabar Hotel, top of the Ark. Members $45, non-members $55, 2-course drop, dessert. We're going to have some fancy displays going. There's 3 big screens. We're going to have tables of VIP down all amongst the Premier League players in the middle circles and the clubs around the outside. Promises to be a really good night. Photo booth. As I said, we've got some audio. Great food, great night. Great opportunity to celebrate the achievements of all of the competition this season. And for the first time, obviously building on last year's success, we include our under-12s, our under-14s and 16s and 18s as well. So who's going to be the next Kath Coral medalist? Who's going to be the next Laurie Brown, Mel McGee, Belle White, Lindy Radigan and Julie Dale award winners? So lots to like about it. So tickets go on sale. Check with your clubs in the next couple of days. But yes, get along to it. It's going to be a great night. The Cats kicking here off in the top of the 4th and wasting no time, swinging away here to get herself on. It's Bailey Lux, the right fielder. Fly out to centre field in her first at-bat. Cats scored last innings courtesy of a walk to Sophie King and then a big hit, big double to Ellie Smith, and that hit the fence and scored the only run so far in this game. Change up, Lux grounds over to third, Callahan stays down and low and picks up the lead-off out.
That's a well-constructed out by the Port Adelaide battery there. Angler threw a great change, and Charlize, as easy as you like, throws the runner out at first base.
Sophie Roberts' first at-bat was hit by pitch, so she'll be looking to correct that this time round. Takes a strike across the knees. Cats looking to build on that 1-0 run, and we find ourselves at the halfway point of the game, but we're already in the top fourth. Pitchers and defences on top currently. Neither team able to really string any great back-to-back hitting, but they are getting more watchful in their counts as the longer this game goes on. Roberts swings at this one. Outside drop there. Fouls it off to stay alive. Takes the pitch, levels the count 2-2. Just doing a quick health check-up on the board chairman, just to make sure he's okay.
Oh, mate, I've been tired, mate. I've been pedalling the bike all day to get this renewable energy to keep your lights on, to make sure we get through to the end of the game,
He's been waiting 45 minutes to be doing that. No, it's not the mic, mate, it's him. Yeah, sorry.
Mate, I'm just watching this back diamond game.
Am I
Still
live?
bottom 5, Anthony.
Yep.
Probably only one more turn at bat for Seacombe.
Right.
Glenelg have taken a 4-1 lead.
Ooh.
The latest play, Langhorst over on first. Kenzie Wing came out and replaced in the lineup over at first, and then Sydney Horton came up, hit a line drive for a triple to bring home both of them.
Rebels starting to build a little bit of late season momentum there, and the Tigers, they won't like that one bit. Change up again, 2 strikes. Roberts, she's fought hard to stay alive there. That pitch beat her a couple of times in her first at-bat, but she's still there, 2-2. Nobody on, top of the fourth.
Full count, mate, 3-2.
3-2, sorry. Just following Brandon's lead. Change up again, same pitch, same result by Roberts. She's fouled off to the same place, and the person collecting the ball off the fence is now getting 2 of them. See, all of a sudden now he's alive and he's awake and he's... Yeah,
I thought he might have been saving his voice for Saturday. Or maybe his breath was taken away by that fantastic mow on your face, Anthony.
Oh, my God. Roberts, speaking of fantastic, goes bang up the middle and has a great shot out there in front of the Infinity sign, Space Break signs, and Aqaba Hotel sign out there at left field. Marcelino, full dive, couldn't get it, Geldof comes up, and the Cats, base runner.
Be good to see Hayley May now. We've seen her in the field having a cracker of a night. Multiple balls that went up quite high in the outfield, and she's captured them perfectly with the breeze. If she can try and get this run home, she will be doing very handy for her chances tonight at the best player.
Her running bunt was very good in her first at-bat, which was in the second innings. Only it was Engler playing the lead runner that time. So Coach Stansfield gets an opportunity to have a chat here with Roberts and Mayer, as you can see Golden's, I think, the one that's called the time to go in and just check in with Liz. So interesting situation here. If Mayer does get to the position where she plays short and advances Roberts and it's 2 out, Gall, who batted clean up on Saturday, her batting average, which has been fairly good, 278 for this season, her average goes up to 375 with a runner in scoring position. Mayer doesn't play short. She goes long out to right field. Roberts turns, going hard for third base. The throw from Nevers goes straight there. Mayer makes first easily, but then turns to second on the throw to third. And the Cats have engineered 2 leading base runners there off of a great hit by Hayley Mayer, who's having a big night.
What I really liked about that at-bat from Hayley is that she got her foot down nice and early, barreled up that ball beautifully. I really like that Neves came up with a throw there, but just not in time, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can see a good base running by Mayer there, waited to see what was there, what was happening first before, and then she comes in on the outside of the plate. That's just experienced, smart base running by a very, very good player in the Premier League here is Hayley Mayer. So the Cats now, Gall and Stone in the lineup at 1 out with runners at 2 and 3, but then the top of the lineup behind them. So important time in the game for the Cats. So as we said, Gall 278, rises to 375 with runners in scoring position. Stone 297 and goes up to 300.
Bit of dancing in the dugout there, and that ball come rocketing straight at him, and the people that were standing close to the fence forgot there was a fence between them and the ball.
So you can see Magpies outfield has come in very, very shallow to Gall, as they're obviously trying to put themselves in a position where they can throw that lead runner out and take the risk. If the ball's hit in this gap in the middle, they're going to give up the 2, but they're trying to attack the 1 and stop the score altogether. Off pace by Engler, and maybe that's what Golden's conversation could have been about when she went out there and just said, hey, listen, you know, that's the first time they've had back-to-back hits in this game. Let's maybe just off-settle. Big time coming now for Aaron Stone, and she's delivered most of the time. That's happened this year. Now she's there at 2 out with Chelsea Robertson on deck. Chelsea Robertson tonight, 2 at-bats, and hasn't had a great night with the bat where she was dominant on Saturday. Stone to give her an opportunity here, or do it herself. Cheeky and great play by Golden, and it's out, and the Magpies are going to get out of jail here. And let's unpack that on the Sporty Bar replay. Golden has overthrown the pitcher deliberately to try and catch the runner at 2 who's come off hard. And you can just see, so Engler not ready to really get the ball, but Edwards was there ready to go. Roberts comes off, and as the camera comes back, you can see Geldof now throws back to the plate as the play is made at the plate.
Question by Bindi then to Damien McCauley as she was coming off, wondering whether Jess was in the position blocking before she was even had the ball. But as you can see there on the replay, she was inside the line. There was room to the plate. She moved as the ball came, and it was just good timing of the ball and a good throw to the spot. Unfortunately,
I think so started to slide a little bit too early as well. That's where you've kind of got to have an understanding of the situation and definitely go for the outside of the plate where the ball's not going to be. And yeah, unfortunately, Kate's throw was just too good.
So here we go. Now,
2 to 8 to 2 to finish that play.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
So the Magpies now right of reply here in the bottom of the 4th, down by 1, and they're the commentators tonight. So you've heard too much from the top one, heard not a lot from the other one, and the one at the bottom is the only one giving us any real information. So thank you to Amanda Fairley, and we'll use this opportunity to quickly jump in. Australian Under-15s WSBC website announced it today. Obviously, we talked about all of your other portfolios. How excited are you for the Australian Under-15 Worlds in Italy in the middle of the year?
Beyond excited, to tell you the truth, Weathers. Hopefully you'll see a team coming out very soon. Very, very excited by the talent we've got coming through and the girls heading away to represent us in Italy. Obviously, it's always a huge honour to represent your country and to, do it in a wonderful place like Italy, and, go and see Milan is just going to be an incredible experience for all of the staff and all of the athletes.
Sounds tough. Italy, middle of the year. Adelaide, June, July, some of our best months.
How's your Italian, Reggie?
Don't worry, I've been practicing.
Come
ciao. No. Icono Reggie. And I've also learnt how to order a coffee, the most important part of coaching.
The one word that's probably known the most that you've just nailed it. Well done.
Great bunt there by Davis. Smith, though, who's been aggressive all night, but the Stones just had to lift as the balls come in like a rocket.
I really like that call from Ben Lucas there. You know, Chloe Davis is known for her speed, so to be able to drop the bunt, yes, potentially should have been out if it weren't for the error, but speed creates pressure, which is brilliant.
What's even better here in Spacequake there is that Blue Fairley is standing behind her, but he's now got vision the other side of the player, and he's actually seen that she's been able to spill the ball, unfortunately. So Pete's come back with some new skills.
Well, they're certainly not washing dishes, Anthony.
when you said chow, I honestly thought the first thing you were going to say was Getty PD or something along those lines was going to be the first Italian that you've done. So anyway, this is a crucial part of the match. Marcelino at the plate with a fast runner on, 1 out. Davis looks like she's going. Marcelino watchful. She's obviously going through that count, trying to find the pitch that she needs to level this game up 1-1. The Cats threatened with multiple base runners last innings. Magpies must bounce back as we're over the halfway mark. Davis looked like she might have been going there. That could be a hit and run. Marcelino good enough to foul it off. Hit a ball deep out to centre field where Maya took one of her well-judged catches tonight in the breeze under lights. Off speed. Again, Caudle, and I don't know how you picked that because I didn't. Marcelino didn't as well. And that's just come off the edge of the bat and just gone foul to keep her alive here. So Caudle showing why she's an absolute superstar here in the Premier League. It's none out, a runner at first, Marcelino at the plate, Maslin on deck, Cats 1, Magpies 0, bottom of the 4th. And then the next one, which was not off the tip, but off the barrel, has landed somewhere in the soccer fields out there near West Beach Road.
I apologise to the person living at number 20 West Beach Road.
That yellow ball that's in your front yard, if you'd be so kind as to drop that back, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to apologise. No. Those balls are expensive.
That's right. Can we just have it back?
Count the same. Change up, and she's got it this time, Marcelino. Maya goes, Davis is turning hard, gets down, oh no, doesn't get down, but Marcelino shows why she's the Mel McGee best hitter in the Premier League last season as she hits a stand-up double, advancing Davis to third. Sporty Butts replay, wow.
I think the really cool thing about that play is that almost fooled Marcelino there. She really had to work hard to hold her hands, and it probably just shows how strong she is as an athlete. Really, really like that running from Chloe Davis there, and the nice aggressive call from Coach Lucas at third to call Davis early. But yeah, well done, Marcelino. I mean, you know, that's why she is one of the best rolling around in this association with a bat in her hand.
If there was a player that you could pick that you wouldn't want to come to the plate when there are runners at 2 and 3 and there's no outs, it would be Jessica. Oh, look, it's Jess Maslin, and here she is. Interesting to see whether or not there's an intentional walk on offer here, which so happens to Maslin, or if they're going to go after her, and it appears that going after her is the go. Change of pace here.
I think that's the right call to go after. I mean, Charlize behind her had a lovely hit out to centre field last time, so 100% I'd be going after Jess in this scenario. She might prove me wrong here, but it'd be interesting to see whether they go back to that off speed that's just been hit really hard, or whether they go to the rise ball.
Maslin trying to catch the Cats unawares with maybe a short game there, squeeze opportunity hypothetically. Mason was jumping, and you could see Maslin's hands just across her body as the ball followed her in at Caudle's pace. So interesting to see if she does that again. No, leans back on it, goes hard, and the ball has fallen under goal out at left field. So Davis scores, Marcelina scores, and then Maslin comes sliding into 3, and that's why she's dangerous when there's runners in scoring position, as she bats in 2 RBIs for the Port Adelaide Magpies, and they take a 2-1 lead.
I just love Maslin's passion there, you know, like she is someone that, you know, she never takes any game lightly, and just the intensity she brings to it. The game, you know, if anyone's going to make a liar out of me, I'm happy for it to be just Maslin, because that was a hell of a shot in the scenario. Unfortunately, Gaul, you can't go to your feet there. You've got to keep that ball in front, especially with the scoreline. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. You know, Caudle, class, does she come back hard?
Yeah, game on here. This is great softball. If this is evidence of what's going to be happening in late March, I can't wait. So Caudle throws hard. Callaghan tries to keep the momentum and goes hard. So 30 seconds ago, the Cats were 1-0 leaders in the bottom of in the 4th innings, and they had runners in scoring position. Then the play that happened, they're out. Magpies come in, go bang, bang, bang for the first time with back-to-back hits, and now they take the lead. Magpies 2, Cats 1, bottom 4, runner at 3, 1 out. None out. So Magpies, huge opportunity here to build. Cats now just looking for an out and to try and pin Maslin there before Edwards, Thompson, Geldof and Neves get to put pressure on the #1 defence in the competition. Callaghan goes down looking, so you got your answer there, Reg. She's going to fight is the superstar from Boise State.
I really like that last pitch, you know, go back to something you know that's going to get called, something that's going to be competitive, and shut the next hitter down in 3 pitches. That is class right there.
Strikeout number 5 for Taylor Caudle. Takes her to 171 for the season. Yes, that's a real number I read out loud. Montana Edwards at the plate. Game on here for the last 30 minutes of Wednesday night, a live softball action. Hope you're pedaling that bike, Pete. We need those lights to go past 9:30. This is going to go down to the wire.
It's been a workout.
Caudle throws an absolute rocket, and Edwards fouls it off, stays alive. In between, you're running up and down the to diamond 2 and back. The time would suggest that the game out there is finished.
Yeah, they got through to the bottom of the 6th. They had a few batters, Glenelg, before the umpire said enough's enough. It's finished 4-1 the way of Glenelg at the end of the game out there.
That's not going to help the Tigers at all. It's going to make the Eagles very, very happy. Shows short and probably just leans a little bit too much forward. She kept her bat at the top of the zone, but it was probably the lean forward that undid her there as she's turned the ball over to 3rd. And foul.
It was a squeeze play too. Maslin was
on the go.
2/3 of the way down the line before that ball even got anywhere near the fielder.
That's great. Love seeing stuff like that. Both these teams here, whilst you sense they're hiding plenty from each other from a future qualifying final, they are going at it still. Caudle up above the letters, hard and fast. Irresistible. And Edwards goes with it. Fouls it off to stay alive in what's been a very good at-bat here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. Maslin's at 3rd. Thompson on deck. Blue McCauley gets a very good look at a very good pitch and levels the count. 2-2.
I think that's what makes Taylor so competitive, is even, you know, that ball we're all going, ooh, generally a ball, but, you know, even, you know, the pitches around the zone are ultra competitive, so you're going to have to be on your game every pitch.
Edwards fighting hard here, forcing the superstar from the Walkerville Cats, Taylor Caudle, to have to battle. And battling she is. She's happy to use some pitches. Didn't throw the full game. Did throw the full game Saturday. Didn't throw the full game the week before for the Cats. Change up, and what an absolutely great pitch that was. Excellent pitching by Taylor Caudle. Great call by Chelsea Robertson. And after what started as an error at first on a short play, and then a double to Marcelino, a triple to Maslin scoring some runs, Caudle's answered with strikeout looking, strikeout swinging, and bringing Zoe Thompson, the left fielder, to the plate. And she struck out swinging in her first at-bat. Can she try and get some momentum back here for the Magpies, or can Caudle shut the door? Big swing by Thompson. She showed that last time, a bit like Maya, where Maya showed that she was going to play short, and then she just leant back and drove the ball to right, and that's what started it all for the Cats. Bit of the same here for Thompson. Thompson takes one on the outside as a strike.
Got down looking the first time as well. I don't think she'll want that again here.
Yeah. Magpies uniform looking amazing, especially under lights. It's that CFS Foundation page still live for those that wanted to be a part of it. In the dirt, Robinson saves the run with a glove out. Doesn't let it get past her. That's a big save, an important save. Mason was there to challenge Maslin if she'd gone, but Caudle doesn't throw the ball softly, so that's a very good block by the superstar Robinson.
You can see Caudle just giving Chelsea a little glove tap there to say, you know, thanks for having my back, especially in this situation with 2 runs already scored in the innings.
And Caudle, well, you asked the question, Reggie. You said, how would the Cats and how would Caudle come back? Well, it's KC, K2, K2. That's how we come back after back-to-back hits.
Not a bad comeback, I'd say. Look, I think she potentially, you know, didn't get out of second gear, but, you know, no.
7 strikeouts on the night, so Taylor Caudle proving to be a superstar. The future of softball. Every week in 21st of Feb to the 3rd of April, down at Christie Downs and at Seafood. Free come and tries, all ages, all skill levels, all genders, all about fun. QR code on there and some term 2 indoor softball. Brianna Lint, the participation offer for the Southern Vales and the Seacombe Premier League star. You can reach out to her by that phone number or that email address. But if you're down south, it's a great opportunity to be a part of softball in South Australia as we look to grow the sport north, south, east, west, up, down, everywhere we can. So Coach Fairley is going all the way to the other side of the world with her little trip over to Italy, the same place where Australia played the World Cup. And she'll be heading over there in June or July?
June 27th to July 5th is a tournament.
Yeah, right.
You know, the first on the WBSC calendar this year, so very exciting.
Erin Stone gets to have another at-bat since she didn't finish her last one. And this one here is an important one at the top of the 5th because she walked off last time 1-0 up. Now she's 2-1 down as the Cats chase the 2 runs that the Magpies have just put on. Grounded out to second base in her first at-bat. This one flies out to right but falls foul. Would have been a great start for the Cats because they want her wheels on base and they want a base runner because number 8 is on deck. followed by the best hitter in the competition, followed by the power that follows that. So Cats looking here to bounce back, chasing 2, 1 to draw. Stone takes a pitch on the outside.
Interesting. I thought we might have seen some small ball there from Coach Stansfield. You know, Coach Lucas has literally just done the same thing with wheels in the box, a lead off running bunt.
Yeah.
So
well, Callahan, Callahan and Maslin both deep. So, and she's got the wheels for it, and just gets beaten there, frozen by the pitch from Engler as she picks up another strikeout. Bringing us back to the top of the lineup as Chelsea Robertson.
I tell you what, Anthony, I wish we had a camera on the commentary box tonight, because some of the moves that Reggie's putting on display here, she might not be at third base calling the shots, but I tell you what, her bunting action, her slapping action, and, well, not literally slapping action, but her slapping action, her hitting action, it's going out of control here. I don't know how I haven't copped the bruise.
You don't have enough money to put my stash on TV. No, you can't.
You can't shine the light on us, Brandon. The sticky tape under that moustache is starting to come a little loose.
Everybody's got an opinion. I love it. No, it's funny that Coach Fairley talks about tells, and yet if you were watching her performance tonight in the commentary box, it's Tell City. So
That's all right. That's why I'm sitting.
Robertson leans back. She was so due. First 2 at-bats tonight were short and didn't make her reach first. That one, just a lazy lean back, puts the ball in space between 6 and 5 and goes bang out to Zoe Thompson.
I've got a fair few watchers getting in on our live stream now too, Anthony. I know you did tell me to keep an eye on the socials tonight, so I thought I'd do it at some stage.
Haven't spoken for 75 minutes, I assume that's what you were doing. So
plenty of people chipping in. Tanya Moffat congratulating the super coach Reggie on her Oz appointment.
Bunt by Sophie King. Engler down. Doesn't look at the lead run because she knows Robertson's like that. The two Fairleys argue over what happened at first base. And you can talk us through that because it involves your better half.
I would look, she was definitely out, but I'm just saying I'm not sure about a 1-out bunt given the scenario. But then when you've got Ellie Smith coming up, you're putting, some wheels in scoring position. I probably would have liked to seen maybe a steal rather than giving up an out in that scenario. But, that's why I'm sitting here and Bindy's sitting out there, right?
Well, ironically, the only player more effective in the Walkerville Cats lineup than Ellie Smith with a runner in scoring position, you're not going to believe it. Who do you think it is? It's Sophie King. Her batting average...
We're going to see an intentional walk here, maybe?
Up she goes. Her batting average is 567, is King. Her on-base is 658. Runners in scoring position, King goes to 727, if you don't mind. But that's what's happened, and this is the risk that you take. Instead of the international power hitter with experience to bat in one of the fastest runners in the Premier League, they're going to challenge the state under-18 star and recently announced in the schoolgirls team, Georgia Mason, who tonight has been right side with a fly out to right field and a ground out to second base. So here comes the tactics. 2 out. Off speed on the outside from Engler.
I reckon the heart rate is a Georgia here.
Well, knowing Georgia like I do, I have had the pleasure of coaching her in a few state teams, or one state team in particular. She's very calm under pressure.
Right side again, and a ground out to the right side has allowed Coach Lucas's intentional walk-off to pay dividends as the force created creates the out, and the Magpies close them down. Yeah,
just unfortunate there. George just kind of let her bottom half kind of get caught behind. If she'd been on time with her sequencing there, that ball potentially goes up the middle and scores a run. So I think good coaching by Ben there to put the runner on, especially, you know, when Smith is sitting 2 for 2 with, you know, Sophie King in a scoring position.
Yeah.
So
Bailey Lux to follow. Roberts, who drove the ball to Setterfield in her last at-bat. And then tonight, Mayo, who's had that great shot to right field, which was what basically got the Cats base runners in that last innings before, and also had that really good bunt shallow in the game. So there's been a fielding change out at left field. Is that Tia or is that Jamie? Or is that somebody completely else? It's Tia, isn't it?
I think so. Once you turn
Looks
around,
at 15,
see the number. Yeah.
Mataria?
Your guess is as good as mine.
No, that's a question. I'm asking you. Is it
Matara.
Oh, okay. All
You
right.
just got to say it with confidence,
We've got
Anthony.
Professor Williams at the end there that apparently...
We heard Reggie's Italian before. I don't know if she's going to be able to pronounce this.
All right, the Magpies
Sorry,
here.
Coach.
The Magpies here. It's the bottom now of the 5th. They've gone ahead. They've had a couple of close losses. They lost to Seacombe in a close one late on Saturday. So they've had a couple of close games, and the Cats, as I said 2 weeks ago, you know, they dropped the Eagles in a game where Caudle didn't start, but they came back with vengeance last week. So this game, I was always super looking forward to this game. And leading us off is the centre fielder for the Magpies, Kate Geldof. I suppose you two would be, with 15 to go, would start thinking about the Sparms player of the game too, which is coming up. Pete to do the on-field interview.
She's having my voice.
So, well, considering the light pattern last week, you've got about 60 seconds if the game finishes at 9:30. So we've triple checked it. Takes the pitch. Still watchful. It's been interesting to see how they've tackled Caudle tonight. I wouldn't say this was... I think there's a bit of game plan to it. And I think there's still a little bit of data sort of from a coaching perspective where you're still looking at some pitches. But you'd also know that she's not giving you everything she's got tonight. Ground out over to King, who stays low with a great glove. God, she's a good player, Sophie King. And she's just come up with a very important lead-off out, taking away the short game of the Magpies, which they've executed multiple times tonight, and brings Jess Neves to the plate.
Just having a chat with Jess on the way in. This is one of 2 games to go for her. She's actually heading off to Thailand to get married.
Oh, you're kidding.
So she won't be here, unfortunately, for final. She's going from Neves to Banks. So shout out to her fiancé, Ricky.
There you go. This is why you come here, to get all the information on the live stream about what's happening in the Adelaide Premier League. Just leans in a little, try and make that strike zone a bit smaller, but struck out in her first at-bat. Goes with a rocket. Neves jammed on the hands, good enough to foul it off over the first base bench. Want to thank Aqaba Hotel, proud partners of the Adelaide Premier League, and the Sporties Bar and Sparms, and for everybody that's been donating to our fund page. So thank you for all those that have contributed so far as we close in on our target. Neves into the spot, but King, oh wow, what a play. King does a great job on the backhand of a ball that looked like it was in the 6-5 hole. The tallest first base in the league has to jump on the throw on the backside. She does enough to pull the ball down here on the Sporty Bar replay, but as she's in the air, Neves has run through the base.
Unfortunately, you know, that's probably the first time I've seen Sophie King's feet let her down. She didn't quite change them and change that weight quick enough to be able to throw the runner out, which meant her throw did go high because she wasn't in the right position. Great take by Georgia Mason there. And, well, I'm not sure if we can see it, but Pete Fairley coming up with a big off the base there. So I dare say he's been dying to make one of those calls all night.
I saw that. That looked very similar to the wedding night dance, I reckon. The way that he just swung it around.
Yeah, anytime you see an umpire commit 2 arms, that is very much camera time. Speaking of that, the runner has changed. Neves has come out for the speedster from the under-16s and 18s, Jackie Davies-Morganti. So even though he's got a 2-1 lead late in the game, still very much sheep stations here. There's no need to have him on camera, Brandon. That's only going to make it worse, and we'll hear more about it. So
Good call, Brandon. Good call.
Top of the lineup for the Magpies. Big shot by Jess Golden, her last at bat, 225 feet. She went long to the fence. Robinson comes up throwing to keep Morganti back at the base, and Stone good back up there.
I like the pick-off attempt by Chelsea there. You know, pinch runner coming off the bench, not necessarily expecting to be picked off, and Chelsea has got some really great pop time and good footwork behind the plate.
Takes a strike.
Crucial batter here too, with only about just over 4 minutes till no new inning.
Correct.
If this isn't an out here and this runner gets on with only 1 out, you'd probably nearly say it's just about done unless there's a double play.
Ooh, double play.
Yeah, she went...
Hills are good at them, Reg. I saw a few the other day.
Yeah, that was very nice on Friday night.
Change up. Golden. Second shot up the middle tonight. And Golden showing her skill there. She's attacked a rise. She's picked a change. And she's been very, very good tonight at the plate. And that's why she was a Cath Cole medalist. And the Magpies now, 2 very fast runners at 1 and 2, 1 out, bringing Chloe Davis to the plate. And in a situation like this, some good gamemanship here by Robinson as she just tries to take 30 seconds out of the clock. But the danger here is, do you bunt Davis to push them to 2 and 3 and send Marcelino to the plate? If they intentionally walk Marcelino, what happened when Maslin did it last time? That means you either go at Marcelino and take the risk. Marcelino hit a double last time to score 2. So pick your poison here. Magpies in a really good spot. Caudle's going to need to step up and get after one of these next two batters. Inside on Davis, who has struck out and had that error on the right side of the diamond that allowed her to get on before she was batted in by the big hitting Marcelino and Maslin that followed her.
Surely with 2.5 minutes, it's take as many pitches as you can.
Correct.
I'm giving Pete the big thumbs up for the viewers at home because it's exactly what I'd be looking for.
Jammed on the hand. Smith going to play the lead runner. King holds the ball and does a 360 across the base, if you don't mind. A little bit of camera time there for the vote getters. But King in a foot race there against the fast runner, and player comes in hand. So 2 out now. Lead runner gone, but Marcelino last time went to the fence, and now she's still got 2 fast runners on deck. On the base paths, and Maslin's on deck. To waste no time this time, puts the ball to the fence again as it hits the softball SA side. First runner comes across, second runner in Golden comes across. Davis comes across, and Marcelino adds a run-scoring triple to her run-scoring double as the Magpies now just blow the game open.
beautiful hitting there. I think Marcelino did a great job on just seeing her pitch early in the count and going after it, which, you know, with the wheels that were on base for Port Adelaide, you know, it was always going to be 2 runs. It was a matter of where Marcelino ended up on, you know, whether she ended up on second or third.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sparm's player of the game's getting hard. You've got, you know, Marcelino, again, good in the field, couple of fly catches. She took one running back to centre field, which was difficult. She took a difficult one over here. She was part of a good double play, lead run play, and now she's been involved in some lengthy at-bats and done a great job there. Mayer on the other side in a losing team has been really good for them. She was involved, good field all night. Maslin's had a good shot for the night as well. Engler's pitched really well. It's not going to be easy, and it's not over yet as the Magpies look to score Marcelino, but they've jumped out to 4-1, and as Coach Fairley's just showing me, we're running out of time, which means that this could be it. The Cats might not get that next at-bat. Maslin plays it. Caudle doesn't worry about the runner because she's only going to worry about the batter. But Blue Macaulay has not given the Cats a chance. He's called time and game, and the Magpies have run out 4-1 winners over the Walkerville Cats in what was a big game, and we'll see the Magpies return to the top of the table as they were only separated by half a game here.
Well done to our viewers at home. I believe it was Danny Moffat that called a 5-1 ball game. Very close. She got a 4-1 ball game. So well done to Port Adelaide. I think, you know, just timely hitting, jumped on the right pitches. I mean, 2 of the safe hits came from change-ups, which is the one you want to really pick for Caudle. Unlucky to Walkerville. I thought they were very competitive, but just couldn't string the hits together at the right time, unlike Port Adelaide.
Yeah, so again, both teams would have learned a lot from tonight, and from a qualifying final perspective, you know, they are still very much, especially with the Tigers loss tonight, that'll help both these teams now. So, we're in, look, with West Torrens coming from, you know, on fire, Trzynski's back, and then, you know, as I said, Seacombe's still in the mix. These 2 teams here have just given us a great Wednesday night softball game. There's a lot to like. Tonight, Sparm's player of the game, it's the obvious choice. 2 big shots, a double and a triple. Some great fields. It's the shortstop from the Port Adelaide Magpies, Brie Marcelino. Board chair Pete Williams is out with her tonight.
And our player of the game tonight from Port Adelaide, Brie Marcelino. She's still out of breath from that run round to third she just had. Picked up the player of the game with that last hit. You must feel pretty good, a nice double and a triple.
Yeah, no, it feels really good to come out on top again. We've been working really hard as a team, so it's great to see that all of our efforts have been paying off.
What was the message from the coach and from the leaders in the team? Walkerville got that jump on you early. They got the run. You seem to just be getting little bits and pieces, but just not getting the runners home. What was the message from the coach?
To just keep our energy up. Like, that's something that's very important to us, is keeping a high energy in the dugout no matter what's happening, and just having good at-bats, keep fighting, putting the ball in play, and something will happen.
And a critical win in terms of the season. Obviously, you and Walkerville fighting that top spot at the moment. You don't probably know, but Seacombe did go down over the back diamond, so that's created that little gap for you again. What is it from now to the end of the season that you've got to do to just keep that momentum going?
Yeah, I mean, it's working pretty well right now. I think it's clicking really well. I think we should just keep building off that momentum, keep showing up to practices, working hard, and not settle in for anything. We want to win the championship.
Well done. You're coming back again. You're trying to get that championship back. Well done tonight. Great hitting and great fielding as well. A couple of nice catches early and flying out to centre field to get one out there as well. You're the Sparm's player of the game. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pete, and thanks, Brie Marcelino. Another great game from the superstar shortstop of the Magpies. A double, a triple, great defensive fielding, and showed her athleticism tonight. And good job there, Pete. So, no game this Saturday on the live stream, but it's a great opportunity. Get into your car, head out to Ridley Reserve, check out these fancy new lights that are out there at Central Districts, and see a bit of the future of softball in South Australia at the Junior State Championships, which is always going to be a well-run event because the Central Districts Associations are great. They're going to have food truck, bars open, etc. And 7:30, the Premier League game, Walkerville Cats playing the Seacombe Tigers, in which a game with both teams coming off of a loss tonight becomes really important. So a lot to play for Saturday night. We'll be back in town next week for next Wednesday. The best news that I've kept secret until late tonight here, of course, is you'll finally get to hear less of me, and we're going to get some quality back on the mic as the GOAT, Eric Balnar, is back in town along with James Harris. So we're going to be able to get some better calling for you. So thank you for your patience putting up with me. Coach Fairley, thank you for driving down on a Wednesday night, chilly, to spend some time with us and dissecting that game. Great job with the CFS round and with the heat this season. We wish you all the best with the Aussie team.
Thank you, Withers. Great to jump on the mic tonight. Hopefully offer some insights into the game. And well done to Spacequake. Another great CFS round from them. The footage was exceptional. That heart at centre field will always be a highlight for us. So shout out to Spacequake.
Yeah, Dave's drone shots are now a part of the culture of the CFS round. And thank you to Pete, who's going to be out there on Saturday, and he's going to live call that game for the 7:30 Premier League. So you'll get to hear who's doing what and where they are. He'll love that. Remember, the autograph cards are not for him. Producer Brandon, thank you for your work tonight. And thank you, scorers. The Cats down 1-4 to the Magpies.